Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the program Cosos, who is one of the members of the legendary Gipsy Kings. How are you? You well?
Hey, how you doing? Yes, thanks for having us on the show.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. We've been playing Chica la Sol, or Chica del Sol, get it right, which is just typical of, for me, the Gipsy Kings party music. How does that come about? How did you get to that beautiful sound?
Well, it's my father being inspired, for some time now. There's been the pandemic, and obviously it gave him time to get in the studio and work on some new music. And, in south of France, we have the sun all the time, nearly. And he was just jamming, and he came up with the Chica del Sol, and everyone was dancing around, and he thought, I think this is our next single.
Being in Spain, the one thing I know is I don't care whether you're Spanish, German, French, English, whatever. You put a Gipsy Kings track on and everybody's going to dance because it is the most brilliant party music. Whether it's Balemos, whether it's... I don't care what track, but it is. It's one of those things. It's just the most amazing mix of flamenco and I don't know. I don't know what it is. Where does your inspiration come from?
Well, as my father liked to say, he likes to take his inspiration in people he meets, in the travel he does. So this is mainly where it comes from. We like to listen to a lot of different music, and we meet a lot of different artists as well around the globe, and we get inspired by their music. And yes, it's really about getting inspired by other human beings and other cultures as well.
The Gipsy Kings themselves, the Reyes Gitanos, you have a really, really long career. I mean, you are Tonino's son, and the band continues even through you and through the sons of other guys that are involved in the band. But it's never changed its musical direction. How do you maintain that?
Well, I think mainly because it's timeless music, as you said. As you rightly said, people are still dancing to Gipsy Kings music from 40 years ago, and this tells us that just timeless music, and it's just music from the heart. And when you make music from the heart, it never dies, and it will talk to many generations to come. I'm 31, so I'm quite young, but this music obviously speaks to me, not only because I'm a gypsy, but, it's just so happy, and regardless of where you are in your life, if you're sad or if you're, it's winter, this music will always warm your heart.
Well, the one thing I've got to clear up, and it's a bit weird, really, because I always thought you were Spanish, but you are actually French, but you have a lot of Spanish influence from your parents, grandparents, etc., etc. Do you find that confuses people?
I don't know if it confuses people, because my great-grandfather was from Figueira in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So we are definitely originally from Spain. We just moved to France, 2 generations ago. But it doesn't change a lot for us because we speak Catalan, and we're still very much in the Spanish culture, and obviously rumba and flamenco, our music that comes from Spain mainly, and Spanish type country. So yes, even if we're French, we are deeply rooted in the Spanish culture.
Yeah. Now you are one of the very few sort of Latin artists that have got international acclaim right the way through the world. In America, in Europe, even in the UK, people know the name Gipsy Kings. Do you find that really helps when you go out on tour?
Oh yes. I mean, as you said, we've traveled across the globe in the nicest and most famous places of each country, and every time, it's the same love shown by local people, which is quite, surprising, because after 40 years, not a lot of artists can say the same thing, and it's a true blessing, because it started really, really from a couple people around the table, jamming together. So yeah, definitely, it's always a big surprise for us, but it feels like a blessing at the same time.
Your father, Tonino, is one of the original members of the Gipsy Kings. And I mean, as you say, after 40 years, you are still performing, you're still recording, and you're still touring. Do you find that legend is still as acceptable to people?
The legend?
Yeah. People still respond in the same way.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just what I said, it's quite unbelievable for us, to see that after all this time, people still feel and love the music, regardless of where you are in the world. We were in Kuwait 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, and we had the how you say, the privilege to play for 2 full houses, of 2,500 each, back to back, and Kuwait is such a small country, Basically, it's just Kuwait City, which is the capital city, and then it's just the desert. So when you get to, gather 5,000 people with few to no promotion, and the promotion was made like probably a month before, the few promotion. I think it talks a lot, about how these people can transcend cultures, across the globe.
You actually got quite a lot of acclaim in the States, in America. The album, I think it was Gipsy Kings, spent 40 weeks on the charts. I don't think any Spanish album's ever done that since or before. That must have been huge for you guys.
Yeah, to be honest, and this has been one of the most surprising things that we can't even explain to this day still, I think maybe it's because there's a big Spanish community in the U.S., but I don't think that's the only thing. I don't know. It seems like this music really speaks to American people for some reason, and we haven't been able to find what it is. But yeah, America is especially fan of Gipsy Kings, and yeah, we wish we could tell why that is, but it's part of the magic, I guess.
Yeah. The one thing I do love about the Gipsy Kings, and the one thing that will always make me smile, is when you do a cover version of a standard, like Hotel California, or is it My Way you've done, the Frank Sinatra one? That
I did, yes.
You just turn it into your own thing, and yet you never lose the integrity of the song. That must take so much work to do that.
Well, it's funny because it's mostly my father that does that, and it doesn't really take much work because basically it's all about inspiration. So, he told me that, when he heard Hotel California, he could hear the riff in his head. He started to play it, and it made sense straight ahead. The rest is history, obviously. But yeah, no, it's obviously it's a lot of work to get to the end result. But the idea they start with just came out like that, with like the guitar and hearing the original one and thinking, wow, that would be a great Gypsy song.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those songs where when you hear it, you think, oh yeah, it works perfectly.
Yeah.
The Gipsy Kings have sold in excess of 60 million albums worldwide. I mean, that's an incredible amount of music, isn't it?
Oh yes, yes, and then we still can't believe it to this day. To be honest, it's probably. I mean, the Gypsy King, is probably one of the biggest selling group in the world music ever. And it's crazy to think that again we started from nothing in south of France, and and that people love the music so much around the world, and yeah, it's incredible.
I've got to tell you one thing. I'm a DJ. I DJ at parties, and obviously at those parties there are Spanish, there are English, there are whatever nationality. Whenever I play the Gypsy Kings, there is a mix that was done, which has got Djoba, Bombolero, all those wonderful tunes, all mixed into one. If ever I play that, I've got a full dance floor. How do you do that?
Well, I think it's the foundation of our music.
Yeah.
It's about joy and happiness and having a good time and love, and these are feelings that everyone wants to feel, and once you get the kind of the recipe, if I can say that, because there's no real recipe. We just make music from our heart. Then people will respond in big time.
So what are the band doing at the moment? I mean, yeah, I know you're doing a lot of promotion for the new album. Will you be taking it out on tour? Will we maybe get to see you in Spain?
Oh yes, I mean right now. So the Chica del Sol single is out on all platforms. There's the Chica del Sol music video as well. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Oh yes,
but. Yeah, so it's been shot in Camargue. It's beautiful. I mean, I hope everyone gets to see it. And then the album Renaissance will be dropping at the end of October with only new songs, exclusive. So look out for it. It's end of October, Renaissance. And then after we release this, yes, we will definitely 2023. Looking forward to go on a world tour. And we will go to Spain, yes, with hopefully, yes, of course.
Oh, we look forward so much to seeing you live here. Make sure you get down to the Costa del Sol, because there are so many Gypsy King fans here, both Spanish and UK and every nationality, that would just love to see you live again.
And it would make sense to perform Chica del Sol on the Costa del Sol, right?
Yes. Has to be done, sir.
Yes.
Oh, Cosos, thank you so much. I know you're very busy. I know you've got more interviews to do. So I'm going to say thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you at playing Chica del Sol.
Yes. Thank you so much for the love and for the support. And talk soon.
And give our best to your father, Tonino.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Bye now.
Bye. Bye-bye.